Warning, warning. Sobek, 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 Sobek?
3, 2, 1.
1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This time, I have brought two guests onto the podcast.
Hello, it's me, Gideon Thomas, the voice actor and motion capture artist for Dabney in Discovery TD.
Wow, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. What does it feel like to be on the front end of things for once?
Oh, I'm a little shy, to be honest, because I like to kill. I didn't think this bit through, so I'm just going to keep talking in this funny voice.
I told you not to tell people about what like, we're fine paying you, but we don't want to get in trouble. Anyways, our less controversial guest, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sobek. Tanhoney's out, so the union, they sent a replacement British person. That's me. Hi.
It was weird.
I'm getting lost in character! My bones! What did you fucking say?
You're not going to believe this, Tanhoney, but before we started the recording, I was talking to Sobek, and I asked him if the dishes were done. And he said, Tanhoney! And I smiled, because I knew they were washed.
I'm not washed. I'm not washed.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Check your foreskin.
Sobek, how many articles do we have today?
No. You asked
3.
me that.
3?
Let's count them.
3? Okay.
1, 2, 3.
It's like Interstellar. I'm like pounding on the wall. Don't let
Wait,
me go,
wait.
Darnell! Don't let me go!
So, Sobek, what's this first article you picked out for us, if you don't mind telling us?
This is Abwesenheit. It's a Powerwatch article written by the one, the only, the Great Hippo.
Whoa, that seems like a higher quality article than I'm used to getting on the podcast.
Yeah, well, some of us have taste.
I have taste. My taste is not appreciated at my age just because I'm like Van Gogh.
Have you ever seen that bit? Someone did a skit and it was like that one homie that like it doesn't gel on the podcast and it's like two random like white guys like talking and then it's a dude in the clown suit talking about like 18th century art or some shit and then they just all get really awkward every time he speaks up. And they go, yeah, man, sure.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Which of us is the clown talking about 18th century art?
Well, you tell me who wrote Bobble, and that'll answer your question.
Holy shit. It's all coming together.
Hi, Tan. Those are crocodile tears. Don't trust him. He writes Aetheral Space.
Those of an alligator. They're true emotions.
Only alligators shed real tears.
You claim to be an alligator, but what's my name?
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that bit. That was clever.
Anyway, what are we reading? Tell us about this one that we're reading first. If it's so good. If your recommendations are so fantastic, why don't you tell us what we're reading, Sobek?
I already did, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No. It's all falling apart. It's all falling
Can't keep up
apart.
with the conversation.
I'm too old.
I see the
Sobek,
planned
would you like
obsolescence is
honor-
kicking in.
Would you like the honor of reading this one? Maybe together we could popcorn it?
Yeah.
Darnell, I read the articles now.
Yeah. Maybe you could react this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice, could you maybe
Let me sit in my chair.
on the third host? Ixnay and Honite. Just like okay. So
Anomalous.
why don't you
Anomalous. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare stop rolling Anomalous.
Anomalous, if you can just turn
You leave
volume down
Anomalous
to
out of this, okay?
25%.
Don't make them choose.
Anomalous, increase my volume by 30%.
Anomalous big head mode. Like GTA.
Anomalous, they're finally kicking me off the podcast. It's time for Operation World Arrow.
World Arrow? What the fuck? We haven't even read the article
Begin
yet.
launching.
Alright, well, we better be fast, so back.
Okay.
You want to start reading?
Yeah, I will. This is Abwesenheit. We have a post by Ideological Imbroglio. The recent disappearance of Basil Oettinger and the subsequent discovery of several lost films in his private collection has reignited cinema's fascination with the revolutionary work of an underground independent filmmaker known as Joseph Helmuth.
This is fucked up because you like have a really beautiful voice for podcasting. Like I can already tell that the quality has gone up and I'm pissed off.
The reclusive director's
Right,
fame in
right.
cinema circles is ironic. Helmuth is best known for not wishing to be known. Tanhoney, maybe you could take a hint from this. Only one of his films, Schweigen, 1953, contains an end credit sequence
Disappear.
wherein
I
he
think
thanks
so.
Mein Leben Wohltater. My German is not good. My dear benefactors.
Oh, you mean Schweigen and Mein Leben Wohltäter?
Oh, what is that grating noise? Yap, yap, yap. How about you let the guest talk for once?
Oh, sorry. I just thought it'd be funny if I came in pretended I could speak that German.
His work was distributed
So
privately
backwards,
through Panopticon Pictures until the company declared bankruptcy in 1962. Nearly all extant prints were destroyed in a warehouse fire. Helmut's work is characterized... Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
So now the guest is speaking.
Oh, my bad. Let me sit my ass down and listen. Not now, a crocodile man is talking.
I'm listening and I'm learning.
Helmut's work is characterized by sparse structure, emotional isolation, fascination with negative space, no dialogue, and single extraordinarily long takes. His first film, Nichts, 1951, is a 2-hour exploration of a dilapidated abandoned munitions factory. What makes the film remarkable is how it is shot. One single tracking shot that begins at the entrance, descends several flights of stairs, and ends in a basement. Given the lack of identifiable cuts, tracks, or rails, even along the stairs, the movie's release produced endless speculation among cinematographers regarding how this was done. Only today's TikTok generation could understand such a masterpiece, you know?
You know, it's funny because, like, this is, like, a film bro thing to like, but, like, have you ever actually... It depends. Like, when it's done right, a really long tracking shot's cool, but I feel like some movies just, like, try to do it for the sake of doing it.
There's an epidemic of, like, fake ones, which I think is just, like, obscene.
Yeah.
When are you guys going to do the
CGI,
episode...
so what's the point?
What's the
Sorry.
podcast equivalent of a 2-hour tracking shot? Like,
Reacting to Reddit posts.
when you guys
we've
upping
done.
the ante on the, podcast bro level, you need to be experimental,
Okay, well, we can...
Well,
I don't know.
if the criteria is do it without cuts, we've done one every episode, I think.
Oh, that's so
you
true.
hear it first. DTV is now entering... We're expanding our content borders. We're now entering the manosphere.
Oh no.
So, young men, listen up. Because this is the place to come. So, Beck,
They
why don't you give a
call me
hot tip for our young
leftist Joe
men?
Rogan.
It's the alternative to Joe Rogan we've all been craving.
Everyone's been saying we need a leftist Joe Rogan. So, Beck?
I'm ready to
We're
step
all
up to the
listening.
plate.
All right, so, Beck,
Yeah.
what do you have to say for our young men in the audience?
I have to say this. Although Nix is the most conventional film Helmuth produced, it still contains surrealist elements that become hallmarks of his style.
I don't think this practice is making it with the youth, if I'm honest.
Let me cook.
Hey, let him cook.
Sorry.
Continue.
The factory's basement is improbably vast, containing far more levels than it should, and includes strange, unidentified machinery. At several points, the camera focuses on objects that are out of place. A pink ribbon, false teeth, a wooden dreidel. Near
This is
the
actually a
7th
clever metaphor. Pink ribbon
Yeah.
stands for the kind of women that you might be interested in. False teeth are people who smile to your face but are secretly lying and scowling.
Hold on.
And a wooden dreidel is probably something, I don't know. I'm not going
Wait,
to
is this
speculate.
is
on
this
that.
leftist or are we swerving?
Oh, sorry. I
Oh, no.
forgot. In my haste to become leftist Joe Rogan, I became Joe Rogan again.
the Overton window. Oh my god. Near,
Please continue, so back.
near the 70-minute mark, a silhouette is briefly visible passing by a doorway. The final shot, where the camera explores a pitch-black room, lasts for 15 minutes, during which only heavy breathing can be heard.
That's so true.
Themes of isolation and emptiness are further elaborated on in Helmut's fifth film, Doppelganger, 1953. Comprised of a 90-minute long tracking shot.
Like, that's 5 films in like 2 years. MCU,
Yeah.
beat your heart out.
I mean, when you're just filming a factory for 2 hours, you can really churn this shit out.
No, but he did it in one long shot.
It's a content mill.
Yeah, no wonder he did it in one shot. So he gets some
I don't have time to edit it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Another one. Comprised of a 90-minute long tracking shot. This guy's a hack. What the hell?
Yeah. This is like the Tanhoney of cinematography.
The viewer navigates a carnival's hall of mirrors while pursued by a hazy, indistinct figure, visible only in each mirror's reflection. The film ends abruptly when the figure appears in front of the camera, obscuring its view. Notorious die-hard Helmuth fans. What do we call the die-hard Helmuth fans? What's the fandom name?
The Helmuthers.
The Helmuthers. Numerous die-hard Helmuthers have mapped out the interior of the hall based on the camera's movements, only to discover that the camera often moves through what ought to be a solid mirror. To this day, vigorous debate continues over how Helmuth achieved this and other effects, such as the absence of the camera's reflection in any one of the hall's hundreds of mirrors. Schuld, 1954, is perhaps the film for which Helmuth is most infamous. It's 3 hours long and consists of a single fixed shot, 4 figures burning atop a pyre as a crowd watches from below. Details regarding its screening at the 1965 Oldenburg Film Festival are murky. Viewers expressed distress, anxiety, and physical illness. This allegedly escalated, with the audience storming the projection booth and destroying all prints of the film. Tanhoney, how are your 4 backup clones doing, by the way? Have you checked on them recently?
I've not heard from them for a while. Hold on, let me look at this picture. Oh, fuck!
Tan Tiny 1 through 4.
No!
They were so close to hatching.
Damn it. Now how will I live forever?
Oh no.
I have to start all over!
The plan is going perfectly.
Retrieved, at least. I'm so hungry.
Helmuth is notorious for being tight-lipped about his work, having never publicly commented on it. However, in 1961, a student attending Merz Academy uncovered a letter authored by him in the college's archives. The following excerpt, translated from its original German, elaborates on his views regarding the role of the author. Daniel, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, I think this one actually might be a little more relatable for Tanhoney. But
Why?
Death of the author presumes too much.
Wait.
It presumes that the author may exist.
Wait.
This cannot be permitted. The author must be obliterated down to their elemental structure, down to their essence, their very core. No trace of their presence can remain on this earth.
Wait.
The author must cease to be. Art can only be understood as an excretion of natural indeterminable events, a thing that is shaped via a rudderless process devoid of intent, purpose, or reason. Raindrops falling through a canopy of leaves, apples withering on the branch of a decaying tree, maggots bursting from a dead pigeon's breast. The author is more than irrelevant. Their irrelevance is such that to merely mention this irrelevance is to grant them more relevance than they deserve. To say the author is dead, you must first presume the author was once alive. But the author was never alive. The author was never even there.
So foreshadowing is a narrative tool.
Why'd you know that? You some kind of author?
No. Immediately after the publication of this letter in several film periodicals, Joseph Helmuth ceased to respond to all correspondence and phone calls. No one has heard from him since. In 1962, he produced and published his final film, Abwesenheit.
How did he publish it? Without talking to anyone? Ever?
He's built different.
Surely, like, a logistical...
He self-published on Amazon.
Fantastic.
Still managed to sell more copies than
He actually made a deal. He actually got a deal with Amazon.
Ow. Brutal.
It's fucked up.
All 6 copies of Abwesenheit. Well, there you go. He published 6 copies. That's how he did it himself. Were believed to be lost in a 1962 fire. However, in 1987, a recording of a private viewing was recovered from the home of Basil Oettinger, a prominent art collector obsessed with the study of Helmuth. Although incomplete, it indirectly captures a small portion of the filmmaker's final masterpiece. The footage is several minutes in length and focuses on a television screen in which Abwesenheit is playing. The television's footage is heavily distorted. The audience, out of frame, produces muffled sobs. Oettinger repeatedly apologizes. As the film draws to its conclusion, the audience becomes increasingly distressed. One member starts to pray. Oettinger begs for it to stop. A hand descends in front of the camera, obstructing its view of the television. The recording abruptly ends. Investigations into Basil Oettinger's disappearance and the location of the fabled surviving print of Abwesenheit have turned up no results. However, it is notable that the footage of Oettinger's viewing party was recorded with Kodak 5247, Joseph Filmer's preferred film stock.
So that's really spooky and cool because it implies that this was in a sense the film. But also, to be fair, they did say this guy was an an avid Helmut scholar, so would he not also maybe use the same type of film stock?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. But that was really good.
There's a
I know
really
it's a good
interesting
article.
breakdown of like the thematic stuff of this on Hippo's author page. I'd encourage people to go look at.
Can you talk about it with us briefly?
Sure, let me get it up.
Oh, I think we did read this because it's saying I'm trying to re-rate this content.
Oh, well.
Well, whatever. Fuck it. We ball. I didn't remember it at all.
I also thought we maybe read it again before, but it was just as good the second time.
Yeah.
I will say, I always know it's a Hippo article because he's one of the few, maybe the only SCP author, where I catch myself reading ahead of wherever we're reading instead of staying with like the reader, just because I'm like enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
It really sucks you in.
Some good shit.
Yeah. 13 out of 10. What did you have next for us, Sobek? Out of your delicious selection.
I have SCP 4505 by
Let
Pepper's
me
Ghost.
rate this one and see if I've already viewed it. We have already viewed this.
It's so
It says I'm
over.
trying to re-rate it.
These are some interesting recommendations. So,
Well, I'll
I
hit...
thought Tan had bad recommendations, but it says... Oh, I haven't read this last one, 7470.
Okay, we're so back.
So
maybe we should give recommendation rights back to Tanner. No, just a
Well,
suggestion.
yeah.
How many 13 out of
Same
10s have you
anyways.
gotten recently, Tanner?
What?
On your recommendations?
This one was written by It's a Bad Idea,
You
guys.
can't kill them. You can't kill them, Tanner. You can't do it.
You've got him talking to Shadow Tanhoney now. Look what you did.
Stay
It's
away.
gonna take hours.
Back, I say.
Be gone. I don't want you here.
Be gone, Tanner, all caps.
Why don't you guys start reading this one and I'll come up with a third one in case we need it.
Hey, Darnell, since I'm so shit at reading, why don't you read it?
I would, but I have what's called a... It's like a... I don't remember the exact name, but it's like one of those... What do you call them?
Stupidity?
Like those, no. It's a
Yeah, I'll
sore
read.
on- it's an
Item
it's a
number
sore on my gum.
7470. Because Darnell's too stupid to read. Containment class
Oh, my
neutralized.
lip hurt.
Kicks
Oh,
you,
my gum
kicks
hurt.
you, kicks you, kicks dirt at you.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Idiocy?
sore on mouth. No, there was a fancy
Foolishness?
An ulcer.
Darnell, the
Yeah, it's
vacuous
called
reader.
word. A something. It's called a something ulcer.
Yeah, it's
mouth.
called your brain.
Ooh,
You
zing.
know what? Why don't you read?
I sure
You
will.
can't write.
Tanner, I have an idea before you start reading.
Yeah, what's your idea, Sebek? My good guest.
Well, you know, we've been at war with each other, but don't you think this podcast would be better if it was 100% British?
What does that mean? Oh, I see what you mean.
What are you talking about?
Just something to consider while you read this article.
Interesting,
Hey.
interesting.
That's not
That's
what
not-
we discussed.
I recommend, just as because we are friends, old friends, I recommend you start practicing your accents. If you want a job tomorrow, that is.
Oi, hello, mate.
Never mind, you're fucking
Stop
fired.
No! Oh, bloody hell! Come on! What's this? What's
Kicks
this?
you down the apple and pears.
Don't you want to play a bit of footy?
Fuck off. Special concern procedure. Sorry, that wasn't even
We
a
can
joke.
head down to the
That was just
pub.
reflexive.
Can have a chicken. We can have some jellied eels. I know they're your favourite.
You're pissing me off now.
I'm charging up the beam.
I'm sorry. I'm from South London. Where are you from again? Irrelevant man.
I'm from a place where humans live.
Where there is nothing more British than insulting the north of the country, and he's got that down.
That is true.
No, there's nothing more important than
Darnell, truly an
South
enemy of the
country.
working class. He really is a
Listen,
Joe Rogan
I'm the one who
substitute.
stands atop the planet, and I'm going to start reading now.
Okay, Alien X.
Special containment procedures. The search for Daniel Collins and other missing persons related to the SCP is ongoing, considered a top priority. Monitoring... I don't know why I'm laughing. Going
such
by
a
Jim
good
Cattoxin.
He's breathing in the copium.
Monitoring of LeBlanc University and the surrounding environment is to be conducted at all times. Standard Foundation disinformation protocol applies to inquiries by law enforcement or the public regarding the status of the missing persons. Sorry, it's not funny, people are missing. The Philip E. Lewis Memorial Auditorium, the Hypo Centre for the SCP, has been closed to the public and placed under Foundation jurisdiction under the guise of structural defects. Lunar surveys are ongoing. High Command stationed on Lunar Area 32 has been asked to review the contents of this file. Contingency protocols for the emergence of unforeseen lunar phenomena are being drafted. All personnel should prepare for a potential Amuda-class disruption event. Consult your HMCL supervisor for more information. We've got a picture of the moon. You seen this thing before?
Yeah, I think so. We talked about it on a DTD episode of Yore. We debated fiercely whether the moon landing was real or not.
I think well, you argued about the moon landing. I argued whether the moon was real. I think. Briefly.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Well, this proves it, right?
Well, there's a picture. It could be doctored, but and that's the moon as seen from Site 19, roughly 12 hours after the advent of the SCP. Hover to enlarge the moon in real life. The picture doesn't actually change.
Okay. This is tragic.
So be careful if you hover, because the moon is increasing in size every time you do it.
Oh.
You're affecting lunar tides.
Oh.
Stop it! Stop it!
Sorry, I just like to watch the ocean curl.
Ew.
You can't stop me from doing it.
Okay. Description. The SCP was the disappearance of Daniel Collins, an associated phenomena on the night of March 6, 2023, at roughly 7 p.m. Collins, who had experience working for NASA and other aerospace organisations, had been a professor of astronomy at LeBlanc University for well over a decade prior to the SCP. An extensive background check revealed no abnormalities besides an antisocial childhood. Prior to the advent of the SCP, Collins had been conducting extensive study on lunar activities using university funds, with an emphasis on the annual variations of orbital patterns. The exact nature of his research was never fully disclosed to the faculty or student body. His findings were expected to be revealed during the lecture that resulted in the SCP. Can we take a little sip, okay?
Go ahead, drink boy.
Fair. You meant that as an insult, but what kind of boy is happier than a drink boy?
That is true. They're always saying that. They're always saying that in jolly old England. Back at the pub, I think I heard that one before.
You're outnumbered right now, okay? You're in enemy fucking territory. Watch your tongue.
Really? Because I feel like I'm dual wielding. All I have to say is, last time we were in enemy territory and outnumbered, we won like heavily. So that's all I have to say about
edit
that.
his ligaments.
What, in Vietnam?
No, I was talking about the
That was the last time.
War.
What do you mean?
Curious.
I mean, like, isn't the entirety of American history being in enemy territory and getting owned?
He's digging up wins from over 200 years ago? Wow.
I think, I don't know. It's just such a big W. It's hard to forget.
This is your only W. Readings taken from local monitoring stations.
This puts me in a devil's position, because position 1 is admitting defeat to the Brits. Position 2 is supporting American colonialism.
Yeah,
so there's no winning.
You lose or you're a monster.
No, we bombed the Middle East real good. I don't know about that one.
Readings taken for anomalous. Become Darnell.
No! That's all I have. Anomalous, please stay who you are. We love you just as you are.
Anomalous, speaking Advent.
Why don't you keep reading?
Okay, I've sipped. Readings taken from local monitoring stations after the conclusion of the SCP discovered slight gravitational abnormalities concurrent with the advent of the SCP. However, they were not nearly as powerful as the nature of the incident would require. See addendum A. Theorists currently speculate the SCP generated a localized spatial/temporal anomaly to reduce damage caused by its gravity on planet Earth. However, this cannot be confirmed.
No links to 8520, which will not be reading.
Yeah, I don't like to read. Following the conclusion of the SCP...
I hate this podcast. You should just watch things instead and react without any video
React
component.
streamer. Like, yeah.
React streamer, but no video component. We just go, that's awesome. Every now and then. You can put it to any video you like, of a show you like, and it's good.
I support this.
All-purpose React content.
Like, you can make me look so bad. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah, it's just a track that you can put onto anything, and it makes you feel like you have
I
friends.
support this politically.
Damn.
The moon now...
Support this polemic! Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
I don't know about that one. That's a dangerous one.
Following the conclusion of the SCP, the moon now possesses an inverted synchronous rotation. Is that good? So that its far
Probably
hemisphere
The dark side.
Colloquially known as the Dark Devil.
orbits facing the Earth. Oh, that's a Mario Odyssey reference, the dark side of the moon.
Oh, it's a big
Whoever
Ford
wrote this
reference.
article is a Mario Odyssey fan.
That makes sense.
Foundation-operated astronomical division has been placed on notice should future incidents arise, and disinformation campaigns are suppressing ongoing public alarm. I mean, like, I think, like, the cat's out of the bag if it's facing the other way.
It's okay. It's okay, guys. Just don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The moon does that. Addendum A, video log. I can't be arsed reading the video log. Darnell, read it, please.
This is why you're getting replaced.
I'm part of the fucking flesh.
I can
and
step up
blood
to the plate,
of this
Darnell.
podcast.
Oh, Sobek, that's so kind of you. Wow. Maybe I should keep you around. You wouldn't make me read when I have a sore on my mouth.
Damn, after everything I did to make this podcast, they're kicking me out. I can't even stand to look at my possessions anymore. Even this weird
I went on
amulet with
one
eyes and nose
Sumerian
on it.
interview. Who the hell do you think you are?
I can't even stand to look at this old amulet I've got with its weird eyes and nose and mouth. Wait, why are the features moving around?
Is that your palette?
Yeah. This is
I
my
better
moment
start
of
reading
despair.
before we all get sacrificed.
Why don't you keep reading Sobek?
The following is a recording of SCP-7470, captured by a member of the audience during Colin's lecture on his research findings. The lecture was held at the Philip E. Lewis Memorial Auditorium at LeBlanc University.
I could literally.
Whoever
listen
wrote
to
this is a
all
joke.
day.
He's a Persona 5 fan.
In attendance
that makes sense.
were 54 students, faculty, and members of the public. The footage was recovered by Foundation cleanup crews following the conclusion of SCP-7470. The camera activates, the stage is empty, and the lights are off. Ambient chatter from the audience can be heard. Collins enters from stage right. Audience applause as light illuminates the stage. He approaches the podium and raises a hand in acknowledgement. The audience subsides. He adjusts his microphone. First, I want to thank you all for coming. I know the weather has been less than ideal. I just want to let you know how grateful I am to have an audience here. You're all fantastic. Collins clears his throat. When I was 8, after a particularly nasty bout of night terrors, my mother took me out into the cool Mojave night, sat me down on the dusty rocks, and told me a story. She said that every night, once the sun settles over the horizon, the moon comes out to keep watch over the earth. Kept all the monsters away, she told me. The moon would watch all night. It could see everything. The biggest trees, the smallest mice. She even told me it could see all the fishes of the sea, all the way to the bottom. It was so big, so powerful, none of the monsters dared to face it. It would even see me, of course, sitting cozy in my bed. All night long it would watch. Then the sun would come up, chase the moon out of the sky, bathe the earth in golden light, until the next night. On forever. I don't know where she got that story from, but it did wonders to ease the frightened mind of a child. The moon, guardian of the night. It must be pretty good at this job, since I never saw any monsters around. Collins chuckles and pauses for effect. The audience remains silent. He continues, shakily. On my 12th birthday, Apollo 11 put men on the moon. For the first time I saw the moon, not through the dirty lens of a telescope, but live on television. Collins begins to pace the stage. The camera pivots to follow him. After that, I became fascinated with space. I mean, really, truly obsessed. You should see my bedroom. I had one of those rocket ship beds, the ones where you could actually stand up in because they were so tall. I had an astronaut helmet and a flight suit, at least half a dozen telescopes. And let's not forget the moon in my room, the little bisected moon lamp you hang on your bedroom wall that talks you to sleep. Yes, it's real. Look it up. I got one for Christmas one year. You can click it through the lunar phases and it'll tell you about science and folklore. I loved it to death. But nothing can compare to the real thing. Collins boots up the stage's projector screen. It displays an image of the moon, pictured. As I got older, I started studying the moon. I'd stare at pictures like this for hours. I'd pore over images from the Apollo missions. Once I even held a piece of moon rock in my hand, gloved, of course. As embarrassing as it sounds, I would sometimes regard it less as an object and more as a person. Someone rather than something. I think I held a conversation with it on more than one occasion. Can you blame me? I was a loner.
This could be taken straight out of my diary in regards to talking to Tanhoney.
I mean, Tanhoney does look a little bit like the moon, if you think about it.
I sometimes thought he was a person.
Yeah, rather than something, I think I held a conversation with it. Could you blame me? I was loner.
Darnell, are you saying you need me? You can't make it in the real world.
It's true. You're my Nakama, whether I like it or not.
You can't leave me behind.
It's your curse. Oh my god.
Sorry, Sobek, you're only a temporary guest.
No!
It's like you lost to your dark side.
Sorry, I can't betray you.
Have you forgotten, Darnell? You killed... You can't live it a normal life.
What is this, a Mori?
Yeah.
You're Mari now? You pushed me down the stairs, Darnell. That's why you have to keep doing this.
Oh my god.
I died right before we recorded our first podcast episode, don't you remember?
Oh my god.
God damn. I pushed down the stairway we read in the first article.
Yeah.
I'm still falling.
Oh my god. Anyway, why don't you keep reading, Sobek?
Okay. He points to the projector screen, which clicks to show the cover of the 1974 issue of Popular Science magazine, displaying a group photograph of high schoolers alongside NASA technicians. Colin stands out in the foreground, wearing a bright red Hawaiian shirt and oversized glasses. The audience laughs, to which Colin chuckles. That used to be in style, believe it or not. This was a few years before I got an internship at NASA. I was never on the table for the astronaut program, but I did work directly under those who were. I was jealous of them. I could only be a desk jockey for so long. I need to get out and make a name for myself. So when I was offered a job here at the university, I was over the moon. No pun intended. I took a position as an assistant researcher, worked my way up to professor, and, well, the rest is history. Enough about me. You're all here to learn what they won't teach you in Astronomy 101. You've no doubt studied this stuff all your academic career. If you're like me, you've seen every documentary, read every journal you could find about our only natural satellite. Many of you probably studied the many theories about its creation. That it was flung from the Earth during an early impact event, or captured and brought into Earth's orbit from some other source. Some of you might believe it was always there, formed from the same accretion disk and at the same time as the Earth. Collins clicks to the next slide, an image of the moon cracked with red chasms. This is what the moon would have looked like in its early years, fragile, impure. Rift valleys like the one on the screen would have made the moon nearly unrecognizable, like the world's biggest omelette. Collins pauses expectantly. Audience does not react. Get it? Because it looks like an egg? Anyway.
Collins is me.
Collins is all of us.
That's what I'm saying. Collins is every SCP author.
He's kind of based.
Collins clicks onto the next slide.
Sorry.
An image of the moon as it would have appeared for Billy. Shut up, Tanhoney. Shut up.
Shut up, Quiet, Tanhoney. A real British man is talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm listening and I'm learning.
There would have been vast pools of magma, lunar seas. We can only guess what they would have looked like. I always imagine the moon would have appeared as Earth did in her infancy, full of fire and heat and life. Collins clicks onto the next slide, a Hawaiian lava flow. Do you know what happens to solid rock when it superheats? Well, it's a bit like taffy. It stretches, becoming something in between a semi-solid and a liquid. The moon would have been amorphous, malleable. And it would have done the same to anything that touched it, assuming it got hot enough. It's hard to believe that our moon could be anything other than the dead rock it is now, but it was for millions of years.
I just realized I've left my laundry in the dryer for like hours. I gotta get it right after this.
Okay.
Sorry, just don't let me forget, promise?
I promise. In fact, I got it for you. Check again.
Darnell?
That's the only reason I spoke that mid-podcast. I didn't want to forget.
Darnell, don't you think a colonist should let someone from the homeland speak?
Sorry, please continue so much. I'm so fucking sorry.
Let's talk a bit more about recent history. Man has known of the moon as long as we've known of each other. It's been the centerpiece of countless fables, symbols, and religions. It's captured and mystified us longer than we can measure. Collins clicks up to the next slide, a grainy, distorted image of the moon. This is the first image of the far side of the moon, as photographed by the Soviet probe Luna 3. The first to see it were the Russians in '59, who later mapped it in '60. By all accounts, they were the first humans in history to have seen the entirety of our moon. They should have been, but they weren't. I saw it first almost 5 years before the Soviets, in the twilight hours of the early night. That time when the space on the horizon where the sun used to occupy is still fiery yellow, before the blues and blacks of night swallow up the sky. It's then when the moon is most prominent, right as it peaks up above the tree line. On this particular night, it felt so close, like I could just reach up and touch it. No stars out tonight, just you. But you were wrong. You weren't the same you'd always been. Your face was blemished, scars. I didn't recognize the craters. I thought I was dreaming, but it all felt so real. You were bigger too, and not because of the atmospheric distortion. You were closer. I knew that you were here for a reason. You were here for me. You were trying to show me something, but I couldn't see it. You were still too far. Audience is noticeably uncomfortable. Murmurs arise as several people in the foreground begin stirring. This guy's crashing out.
Are you gonna fuck the moon?
It sounded like it, but then he thought the moon was ugly.
Darnell, the moon, smash or pass?
I used to love the moon until I saw it was a 3 out of 10.
Well, all I can say is I've never been afraid of a big woman. You know what I mean?
So
I
true.
think smash.
I'm so scared of like other people, so I
Oh, you don't want to fuck the moon?
But the moon's not a person.
I don't think it deserves that.
Whoa. All right, misogynist.
What do you mean?
Maybe
Why
10.
did you say it's a girl?
We've known you've hated women since
I don't.
Space.
I went warming up to them.
Let me just read the next chapter of Aetherial Space to
Overtime.
find out about Henry's opinions on women.
I'm starting to come
Trying to
around.
warm up to these women things that are around.
Hey, they're alright.
Yeah, you're all right. You're almost like me.
What if it's like Lord of the Rings, but I've like misjudged like the level of joke I can make because I never thought I'd die side by side.
Never thought I'd die side by side with a woman.
It's like, what the fuck? It's like, no, you're meant to say no.
Anyway, so Vic.
I had to get closer. I was on the verge of something more spectacular than any other scientific breakthrough in the last 100 years. The moon had called me and I had to answer. Why it chose me, I don't know. But it didn't matter. For the first time, my guardian, my protector, had revealed its true self to me. But it was a fleeting moment and it was gone in an instant. I had to see it again. I couldn't let this die with me. I had to document it, to record it for all generations to come. I needed a spectacle. I needed an audience. Silence on the recording. Collins checks his watch. He murmurs something, then clicks to the next slide. It displays an image of the moon surrounded by a number of equations, mapping its orbit with Earth. Tonight is a supermoon. It is currently 7 in the evening. Sunset will occur in a few moments. It won't be long now. Collins turns to look at something off-screen. The camera maneuvers to the left to display the auditorium's floor-to-ceiling windows. A large pale object dominates the horizon outside. The camera focuses, revealing it to be an immense, vaguely spherical presence, similar appearance to the moon, but distorted in both size and shape. A low pulsing vibration rattles the camera and causes noticeable discomfort in the audience. All those times I called you, you were listening. I should never have doubted you. I'm sorry. I think I'm ready now. Everyone, please don't be alarmed. I will go first to show you it is safe. All I ask is that you watch for posterity. Collins steps down from the stage and cautiously approaches the door leading out of the building. A low murmur from the audience erupts. Several produce cellular phones to record the preceding event. The object on the horizon has grown in size and the pulsing has increased in tempo and intensity. He exits the building, stepping several meters into the open courtyard outside. He is now enveloped in pale light. He is visibly shaking and speaking upward, but his words are unintelligible. The presence is directly above him. The building power cuts, and the room is bathed in pale light. Colin's body is pulled upwards by an invisible force. He is elongated, and his torso stretches towards the presence above. He opens his mouth to scream, releasing a semi-liquefied, red-tinged slurry of blood and internal organs. The substance demonstrates non-Newtonian properties, initially falling to the ground as solid, before gradually softening and levitating alongside Colin's upper torso. The audience erupts in screams as the ambient pulsing increases to a deafening volume. Colin's body becomes gelatinous. Pustules of skin, bone, and hair drip off his body, hang in the air, then fall upwards. After nearly 3 minutes, Colin's upper body disappears beyond the view of the camera. His lower body continues the stretch without breaking for an additional 10 minutes until it also disappears from view. Chaos within the auditorium renders much of the remaining footage useless, but at several points, members of the audience can be seen attempting to barricade the auditorium doors with their bodies and other movable furniture. After several minutes, the camera is knocked from its tripod and trampled. The remaining few hours of film have been destroyed. All 54 people present for Daniel Collins' lecture, including Collins himself, have been declared missing. When janitorial staff accessed the building the morning after SCP-7470, they found it empty and in disrepair.
I don't think it was safe.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm sorry I didn't comment much. I just kind of got invested.
Yeah.
Another 13 out of 10 and then upvote from me. Wow, so you really do know
I'm
how
going
to
to use
pick.
my powers. This article is called M for Moon. I've not checked, but that's what it's called.
I don't think so.
So, Beck,
Hey.
what is it called?
It is called M is for Moonlight. Sorry, Tanhoney.
Coward. Fraud.
How am I a coward? I put myself out there. I'm brave.
Sure.
What are you?
I'm hero.
What legacy will you leave in the mind of another human?
The ability to schedule guests.
Wow.
Anomalous. I'm pissed off this time. Begin Advent.
Hey, so like, do you have any more really short ones we could read?
Really short ones.
Like a 10-minute.
Anomalous, edit me into my final form.
10 minutes.
10 to 15. Yeah, just a short one. Come on.
What?
Come on.
I have one I really
So
like,
good
but
at
I don't know how. I don't know if it's. If we go fast, we could probably do this one, maybe.
Oh my God, he's about to give me a 10,000 word article. It's the Wanderer's Library.
We cannot. No, we cannot.
This is tragic.
This guy thinks the rate you can read something in your head is the same as the rate you can read it out. That's crazy.
Maybe for you.
Maybe
but
we
for
have an
me-
interesting topic we can discuss. Anyone got any?
No, we're
Okay.
not going back.
Okay, well, I guess nothing of interest has ever happened to you, you fucking boring homunculus.
Tanhoney, do you have a topic you'd like to discuss?
Of course not.
Oh.
He has nothing. This is worthless suggestion every time we have no content. It's empty and hollow, like a soul.
This is so
Here.
sad.
I have a soul. It's pure.
At
and
least
radiant.
I have a cope option. I go to new pages feed. I click recent SCP. Simple as. You ready to read 8939? It's a short one.
I have this one that's short, properly short.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah, so that's
839.
Yeah. Sorry, you almost featured on the worst SCP podcast.
the
Sorry
only
to
one.
whoever wrote that article. I ripped the read from your cold
Rest
dead
in peace,
hands.
Tiberius J-hole.
No, you did them a service.
Anyway, this is called American Putrefaction. I wonder who it's
this is
by.
what they
It
said
goes
in
to
your. This is
history.
what they said when you were born.
So by
This is by Spotted Man.
a fantastic Wonders Library author.
Wow.
You seem quite familiar with it. Why
Do
don't you
those
tell us
still
all
exist?
that?
I thought they went extinct.
Why don't you
Darnell,
read
you've
it,
not read an article
Tanhoney?
today. Darnell
That's
hasn't read
true,
an
actually.
article.
That's true.
That's true. It's mostly because I have this thing on my gums, but I can read a short one. I'm not that.
Those are
I'm
called
not
your
that.
teeth.
Do it for
No, I
do it
have,
for
like, a
Spotted
bump
Man,
and it
Darnell.
hurts. Yeah, for Spotted Man, my favorite guy who I just learned existed.
Favorite girl, I think.
Favorite girl, my apologies. Yesterday, it rained. It will rain again today. Slick grass squelches underfoot, moistening his sneakers. Each blade rises perfectly to his ankle, green-clad soldiers saluting the Titan in their midst. It crunches under his heel. Or perhaps it was a cast-off piece of plastic. It does not matter to him, like whether the thunder in the distance means lightning or cars traversing concrete arteries. What is with Wanderer's Library articles and trying to make cities alive? This is like 2 for 2 now, Sobek.
Because it goes hard every time.
Yeah. Speak.
He turns his head 60 degrees left and stares at the highway structure. The colossal motorway is composed of 2 parts. Above, massive pillars hoist the elevated road above the wet ground for the travelers who wish to make record time going nowhere. He wonders what would happen if someone swerved off and jumped the guardrail into oblivion. He knows the answer. Life would go on, same as it always has.
Below, in eternal shadow, the locals go about their business. The homeless set up camps, ever the intrepid tamers of the concrete jungle. He sometimes gives one a 20 if he has one in his wallet. In his mind's eye, he pictures one of the men he sees often. The man wears a faded band hoodie that's slightly too big for him, and authentically worn jeans. He holds a cardboard sign, slightly damp from the rain. Anything helps, our protagonist thinks it says. He ponders the difference between him and the other man and knows it's smaller than he thinks. He slips from his body, exiting out the mouth into the humid air that never really seems to go away. In the summer months, anything more than a brisk walk is like wading through amniotic fluid. Without a physical form, traversal is much easier. He winds his way down the road, past cars and trees and houses. He sees people doing the best that they can. He presses up against a window and watches an older couple watch a sitcom. Nobody has kids on this street. The thought saddens him, and just like that, his mind is drawn elsewhere. He hovers inches above the asphalt, feet from a shipping container dozens of miles from its proper home. He hears the droning hum of the air conditioning unit, and yet he can't seem to get any fresh air. The supermarket complex spans a city block or two. The parking lot spans 6. Where it begins and the road ends is anyone's guess. Orbiter businesses, islands unto themselves, try to cash in on the gray sea traffic. A complex mesh of living interactions remains petrified, a trace of the truth drifting around the false-like perfume. The supermarket itself takes up the majority of the building area, with hangers-on Frankenstein to the periphery in the same beige concrete. Pathways crisscross the installation like spiderwebs, running past steel fences and forever closed doors and dark passageways. When he was a boy, he would fear being attacked in their confines. Now that he's grown, he feels the fear dripping from the tiles themselves. He doesn't want to be here. His thoughts skate on the surface of the oil slick, flow with the runoff, and gurgle down the storm drain, past the manhole covers as where sensory input stops and the constructions of his mind begin. On bad days, he comes down to the dank pocket of black he's built down there to think. On worse days, he lays down in the subterranean pipes and lets the bile of the city anoint him as a concrete martyr. The ebb and flow of scummy water does not clean him. Rather, it gives him companionship. Today he goes deeper. It doesn't matter why. Maybe it's to get away. Maybe he doesn't want to face reality again. Maybe he's chasing that dream of not having to think but not having to die. In any case, he's swimming. He's swimming until his arms and legs and eventually his ego desert him. He doesn't process the sickly sweet smell until it's already overpowering. That's where he finds it. It's cold and wet, but not in the way he's used to. It's a disgusting gray-green, leathery to the touch, and roughly shaped like an inverted teardrop. Purge fluid gathers at the bottom and drips ever so slowly. Rubbery tubes extend from its top side and trail up into the abyss until they rendezvous with the underbelly of the city in fleshy terminals. It's about the size of his fist, and yet it's bigger than he can imagine. It's the manicured grass. It's the overpass. It's the supermarket and the parking lot. It's not beating. He doubles over and vomits on the grass. Wow, that was depressing.
Yeah.
Take my upvote.
Enjoy my upvote as well.
How do you feel about that, Sobek?
I really like it. I think it's a very... I love the word choices. I love the kind of metaphors.
In discussion, Sobek writes, 24th of April, 2023, about 566 days ago. This is amazing. There's so many lines in this where I thought you'd hit a peak in how much you could convey in so few words, but this just keeps getting better all the way through. This is a eulogy, and it is beautiful.
That was a beautiful comment, Sobek.
Thank you.
Sobek, how are you going to feel when I write British putrefaction?
I would be really happy because, it's been a long time since a Darnell article, and I really enjoy them.
They're not that good, though.
They are really good, and you should feel better about yourself.
Darnell? Oh, you're the guy who wrote... You wrote that, didn't you? Darnell? That one. No, I'm not saying the name.
Charlotte's Web, you disgusting cretin. I can't believe you don't know Darnell
Milk
articles
Jesus.
off the top of your head.
You're the Milk Jesus guy!
Don't. I hate what Milk Jesus has become. I do not stand by it.
OG Milk Jesus was a banger. It was before its time.
I hate modern Milk Jesus so
Hey,
much.
imagine if the party they were like, turn this into wine, but you turned it into milk instead.
Oh my god.
That is epic.
Hey Darnell,
Guys,
And Mary will be
and
like,
subscribe.
Christ, give it another try, please.
Milk
He's like,
Jesus was
sorry,
my...
Ma.
Not that it was that big a deal, because it only mattered in the SCP community only for like 2 days, but Milk Jesus, for me, was the sign that I don't actually want any kind of internet fame, because that was miserable. Never again. I don't want anyone to pay that much attention to me ever again.
Have you
We're
considered
observed for
that
once
because
and you hated it.
because you wrote the thing on a podcast that you should be executed summarily in
Yeah,
front of
we
everyone?
did have to kill you for that.
Yeah.
Remember when a couple people liked it, but I was abusing my podcast privileges and they had to kill me? And then after they killed me, only then could they apologize and say how wrong it was that this happened.
Yeah. We're finally cutting down on the powers of big podcasts in the SCP community. This is a good
You know,
thing.
Yurtcast and its tremendous
Yeah.
influence
Yeah.
over the people of this
Finally,
world.
we only have small podcasts.
Yeah.
I have a question. Does Yurtcast still exist?
I don't know. I haven't read much SCP in a long time.
I'm not so like conceited to think we're the only SCP podcast, and I know there's like Find Us Alive, but like, does anyone else do this format aside from like exploring series?
Simply Creative People hasn't uploaded in ages, so they're. I think it's
So
maybe
we won.
it's just you.
is what
You
you're
won.
saying.
We
We
won.
outlasted all the competition.
You won by
I mean,
by default. The
to be
best way
fair,
to win.
Yeah. Jesus, we're the only ones who are still here.
Isn't that
We're
every
number
battle?
one.
This was the real
It's just a
American
flaming
putrefaction.
battlefield. Yeah, this is SCP putrefaction.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
they're like,
not a
I
lot of
won.
people know
I
this.
killed them all.
So, Beck, I
killed
have a
them all.
question for you.
Okay.
SCP Wonders library or anywhere in your life, unless it's too personal and you don't want to share it. What is the most meaningful thing you think you've written and why?
Oh, that's a good question.
And like, obviously, if it's like a list and it's hard to pick, what's something very meaningful you wrote and why do you feel it's meaningful?
We read the thing I did last time. I really like that thing. It's very important to me.
What's it called again? Because I love that one too.
It is called Concrete, Steel, and Sodium.
That's a very good one.
Yeah, I'm not that person anymore, but it's still very important to me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about like
Yeah.
everything I've made in the past, pretty much.
Yeah, but I'm happy with all of my SCP stuff and Wanderers Library stuff. There's nothing I look back on and I go, ooh, cringe.
Have you ever thought about writing a book, Sobek, or any sort of serialized story?
I've thought about it, but I don't have the discipline to write consistently. I need to sort that out first. But maybe one day.
I think you would be unstoppable if you did. to be
Maybe.
honest. I think you're, frankly, one of the best writers I've ever met.
Wow.
And if you did it, I think you would, see tremendous success.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it would be easy. I don't think you could shit out a book on Google Doc in 3 months. But I think if you put the time and the work in, I think you would make it.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
what I
that.
call one of the 3 great voices of this world.
Oh, who are the other two?
Great Hippo for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum is the other. And then honorable mentions are Pepper's Ghost, DJ Cactus. Can't think of anyone else influential on my writing who really is relevant at this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
However,
Yeah.
we all have happiness in our hearts.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
What's your happiness, Tan?
You'll come to know it in the coming days.
Why are you so happy, Sobek?
Once you see the advent, you will understand my happiness.
I'm on a podcast with 2 of my friends. It's a good time.
Yeah!
Oh,
Are they here too?
Guys, the
Can you get
saying
them on
is the
mic?
sweetest to ever
Yeah.
do it.
Wow.
Guys,
okay, Tan
everybody
Honey.
say thank you, Sobek, for arriving.
Thank you for your service, Sobek.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad to
saluting
provide
you
it.
like you're a soldier.
I'm glad I could help.
Oh yeah. No, I thought you said I'm about to provide it, and I was like, wait, what's the service?
Wait, why are you doing that sword?
wait.
You're about to
Dog
hold
blade.
up.
Shoot Tanhoney in the head.
Sobek doing the Kagurabachi pose. It's funny because I know we're not on that anymore, but your profile picture, which I will not dox you on, is making me think of that, and just like that's you now.
Yeah. I've thought about changing it, but I just can't now. It's gonna be that forever.
It's too good. Fuck, I gotta get JT to draw me something and something.
Yeah. A talented artist.
That is true.
Mm.
All right, well, I guess it's time to read some comments, huh?
I love reading comments.
Me too.
Tell me about the comments.
Let me pull up
what
the
was
last
that?
episode.
I was asking for comments. I don't know why.
I know, but why'd you sound like a goat about it?
Because he is the goat.
You didn't. Yeah, because I'm the goat.
Sure. We have to have Kareth on soon, by the way.
We do. I would love to have that happen. I would love for that event to occur.
All right. Shall we read? And don't
Yeah.
worry, guys. We will be getting back to the recommendations. They're not in vain. I see them.
What should we?
But
This whole episode was recommendations.
But I'm
from
more
our guests.
important than any of you commenters.
At what
That
point
is
does it
true.
stop being a recommendation just because the person's
No,
on the
it's
call
just-
of us?
not a Swedish skinwalker says.
You're too
so-
important now, Sobek. Now you're just a fucking podcast host making us listen to SCPs.
Now
that we're
you're
not
just one
recommending.
more white guy on the
Trying to
fucking
tell us which
podcast.
SCPs you want to listen to.
That's
what
right,
I'm saying.
because I have better taste than any of you. You're all wrong.
That is true, actually. Well, hold on, not the viewers, us.
No,
maybe.
I agree.
No,
Sobek
the viewers.
should recommend all SCPs from now on.
Sobek has become
Me
the
and
very
Donnell
thing
have
we
sort
swore
of
to
switched
destroy.
positions on this.
Hold on, viewers, get behind me.
It's too late.
Shall
Not
I
a
deal with them,
Swedish-
Sobek?
No.
Not a Swedish skinwalker says. So Sobek next week. You made a promise, Tan. I hope you keep it for all our sake.
Did I
Great
promise
episode
that?
as always.
I didn't promise it, but I kept my promise.
Yeah.
Shithalia
With
posted
my
a
eyes,
bunch of
with your
emojis.
eyes that see the future.
Yeah. What do they see? What's in the future?
Well, they saw that Sobek would be on this week.
Oh my god. Shithalia says jump scare, and it's a bunch of eyes and squares.
Oh my god.
Dino Tail says, remember, folks, discovering SCPs run by gorillas, not humans.
True.
Fun fact, for this year's SCP anthology, there was actually a SCP planned based on anatodophobia, fear of being stared at by a duck. They had to cut it because the author just failed to show up.
I sent a duck
My
after
request-
Was that
them,
me?
that's
Was
why.
I meant to do that?
Yeah, but you failed.
I love the idea that
always
you don't
do.
like sign up for it, you just get recruited. It's,
Yeah,
you don't,
it's like
You
getting summoned for a
to the
jury.
council.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
They're
have
on
to
the
put
run.
in your
I
We're
didn't shit my
hunting them.
PMs,
Kill
I'm
you.
going to fucking prison.
We're hunting them down.
That would actually be a really funny contest to do. Like, you wouldn't get in trouble, but like you get drafted into it by other people.
Yeah.
My request would once again have to be 6460 Super Sargasso Sea. It's a really good world-building piece that honors sci-fi, horror, and adventure fiction from both the past and present. Ooh. Anyway, Anomalous, destroy Mexico.
I concur. We need to show people not to fuck with me anymore.
It's fucked up. What did Mexico do to you?
Nothing, but you know, it's a good example. Big
It's fine.
landmass.
I'll save Mexico with my ultimate sacrifice.
Sobek flying
So
forward like
back-
Superman.
Your body won't hold up.
It's okay.
MT2.
It's worth
I love
it.
the idea of like a character like they can't fucking do anything without someone going. Your body won't hold up. You can't.
Oh my god. Sobek, you missed it earlier. We can't recreate it to full effectiveness on podcast, but we invented a bit character that was like guy who's genuinely helpful and nice, but he's like a huge piece of shit about it. He's like, don't worry, of course I'll help you. We can't all have worth. It's like we can't all contribute value to this world, but that's okay. I'm strong enough for the both of us. Just like keeps doing
Yeah.
bits like that.
Yeah.
MT says, there was no monkey, only man. Note, don't jog to shit with jump scares. I was ready for it and still almost jumped. There was a jump scare? What happened?
It was a jump scare.
Oh, did you tell Anomalous to put one in?
Well, it was already in. It was from the SCP. It was transferred over.
I don't remember this.
Karaf
What did we
jump scared
read?
the audience.
Yeah.
What?
This was a week ago. Are you okay? This ulcer is like draining your brain cells away.
No, I've always had bad memory. I genuinely don't remember what this is in reference to.
You started screaming at the viewers because you became so furious.
It's because you're so hard, Darnell. That's why the jump scare just it didn't
You've been
even
calm for too many
register.
episodes and you went berserk. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
Did I actually? I can't remember
you
what
slaughtered-
I
You
did.
didn't
You-
actually go berserk.
You slaughtered
What
dozens
was
of
the
people.
jump scare? Oh my god.
You said
Also, Flus-
words that can't be repeated. I think the channel's getting taken down.
Darnell, all caps.
Also, if Luce ever has a villain, it better be named Joker.
I don't get it.
Joker.
If you're looking for an SCP, but not really, then check out Ori's proposal for 001, Touching Eternity. It's basically a tale about the world getting Zawadudod, except a few people, with an interesting spin on the concept.
I like your JoJo reference, spin. Not Zamworld.
Not the world I'd spin.
Yeah.
Noir Dolphin says, Anomalous, you scared the shit out of me. Good episode once again. Just started Arctay. Yay, Luminescent. Oh no.
Chat, don't tell them.
Chat!
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm having PTSD from the chapter today.
You didn't read it out today.
the one that I read yesterday. Sorry.
Well, it's a different
Spoiler
time,
alert.
so I don't mean to like neck you, but
I'm
you
gonna
were
fucking
wrong.
nick you in a minute here.
Are you being so hostile to me when I've done nothing at all?
Just started Arc 10, yay Luminescence. Anyways, Anomalous destroyed Canada.
Oh my god, no,
No.
it's one of the rampages episodes.
All the U.S. looking down. We'll go to Mexico. Our allies will. No problem.
us?
We'll go up to Canada.
What
the hell?
See all the way to Mexico and
now-
Canada, so he's like an attack back. It's like
Yeah.
from the back.
My ultimate
Question,
plan.
do Canada-
None of your
do
allies
Canada-
remain except for us. The special relationship, Darnell. It's happening.
If
10,
Pathfinder
12
was real,
PM.
do
Anomalous
Canada and
reaches
Mexico
out.
have flanking bonus on the United States? Think about that.
I'm
When the
thinking.
Canadian Knights attack, it's a devastating scene.
Anomalous had to try a little bit, but
10, 12
1%.
p.m. Anomalous reaches full advent and targets 108 locations around the
wait, Anomalous is the Advent?
Yeah,
He's evolving.
yeah.
Wow, this
I
guy
imagine
didn't
as
read
I
the
say
light
that,
novel. Everyone
It
knows
cuts
that.
to like a large egg in a chamber of red amniotic fluid, and it cracks slightly, and you see a yellow reptilian eye, and then it says end credits.
Who's showing up in the end credit scene?
It's Anomalous.
Oh, but then what about the second one that's like funny?
The second one that's funny is
That
me
guy
and you
wakes
farting
up
for
on the moon
15
and
seconds.
he's like, oh, it
Me and
was
you
safe.
playing Fortnite. That's what it is.
Yeah, me and you playing Fortnite. Tanner's like, can we play? And we're like, oh, we were just getting off for the night, and then we keep playing for 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is too fucking real.
No, it's never happened
I
before.
know. I knew you've been doing this the whole time I know you.
Fortnite.
Wait, have you seen that Dan Henschel clip where he's like, everyone in your life is just pretending to like you so you go away quicker. And there's nothing you can do to fix it because nothing you can do would ever make you more bearable.
Jesus.
Christ.
I've not seen that, but I think you maybe should watch it a couple of times.
Oh.
No.
No, wait, how have you not seen it? I literally sent it to you and
Oh,
said, this is Draganda Bruno.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah, I did see it.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.